As one of the best staffed wards in medicine, Baddow are asked to swap wards and cover other areas at a moment's notice, and yet they do this with good grace on nearly a daily basis. The team have a can-do attitude and go that extra mile to support their colleagues in other areas, as well as make sure that the patient care in their ward is such a high standard. They consistently obtain good feedback from patients and families and often do well in reports regarding their performance. They consistently perform well in any KPIs, whether that is mandatory training, appraisals, complaint responses. All members of the team make a valuable contribution to making Baddow a high-functioning and performing ward. They truly are a team that go above and beyond to make their standards high and to support those around them as well.
Cathy is an absolute star and has been a credit to plastic surgery within the NHS for over 20 years. Her knowledge is incredible and she is always willing to teach and tactfully point out if something is not quite right. She is known by many as a work mum. Nothing is too much for her. She always demonstrates professionalism and compassion with every task she does. She manages every situation with a calming and gentle approach, no matter how chaotic it may be, and always with a smile. Patients regularly praise Cathy for the way she connects to them as individuals and her uplifting presence on the ward. Some have described the care received as a privilege. She is an inspiration and her support will be missed when she retires this year.
Martin's tireless efforts to provide invaluable social support opportunities for children and families affected by a burn injury are truly outstanding. The time and thought that goes into running the club and numerous events goes above and beyond any professional expectation and is driven by Martin's dedication and passion for improving the lives of others. I have never met anyone who works so many hours in a week, taking care of so many vulnerable children and their families, turning life-changing and devastating situations and injuries into fun and happy memories. He is a truly inspiring individual with a passion to make sure each patient and family he comes into contact with has the best level of care and is supported throughout what can be a very traumatic time. A lot of the club's activities can cost a lot of money and most of them are funded by charitable donations. He deals with donors and fundraisers face to face and encourages their commitment to the club.
Finding out your baby has died is not something you can ever prepare for. It's devastating, overwhelmingly sad, and just plain heartbreaking. It's hard to know what to do or where to turn, but Tabitha seems to know exactly what families need, both physically and emotionally, before they ever know themselves. Right from the moment of finding out your baby has died, she is there by your side. At no point does it ever feel like she's there just to do her job. She's there because she cares. She cares for mothers, fathers, babies and entire families who are going through a loss. I can't even begin to describe just how incredible Tabitha is, and I'll never even be able to thank her enough for all of her support and care she gave to me and my family. I know all the families who have met her feel exactly the same. It's all the small things that she does that really make a difference and a lasting impression. She provides all aspects of care for babies, from providing smaller items of clothing and little tiny teddies, to working with the funeral directors and registry officers directly for patients. One of the most touching things she does is taking clear hand and foot impressions and painting them in her own time so families have a long-lasting memory of their baby. She attends home visits so families don't have the upset of coming back into hospital, and she offers to support appointments for any future pregnancies. Tabitha is one of a kind, a guiding light, and all the families from the Blossom Suite would be completely lost without her.
Julie has worked in the multiple sclerosis service for 20 years, developing it from scratch. She is fully committed above and beyond, usually first in and last out, and provides a personal and professional experience for every patient. She has implemented protocols and tools to improve the patient pathway, which helps them on their difficult journey with MS. With Julie's extensive knowledge, she always finds a solution to any problem. Alongside all of this, she has 2 young children, a busy life, and is now studying for an advanced practice master's degree to widen her knowledge base, and has also completed her prescribing course, all in aid to better assess, diagnose and treat her patients. Julie is a joy to work with. She is a happy, vibrant, energetic nurse, rarely complains. She is valued not only by her patients, but her work ethic is an inspiration to all her colleagues in the neurology team.
Jonathan Wright's development of the patient experience over the last year or so has been really outstanding. His energy and his enthusiasm really is exemplary. We see him walking around, talking to patients and caring for them, listening to them. I think the way he leads the patient experience group is outstanding. He comes with clear ideas of how to bring what he's heard and bring it into being. One particular way he does that is with these amazing listening events that we've seen develop again over a number of years now, and he gives the patients a real voice in those events, and then we see the real changes as a result.
Mr. Datta is outstanding at his work, always so caring and friendly and understanding, and he has literally saved my arm. I cannot thank him enough. Without his expertise and encouragement, I would not be the person I am today. He will forever be my hero.
I've met Stuart a few times now as I'm a regular patient at the hospital. He always remembers me and asks how things are going, and he's never too busy to make sure I feel valued. Even the other staff are not worried when he arrives. He just makes a few jokes and conversations with others on the ward and can always raise a smile whenever I'm seeing him or I'm around. If more staff are like Stuart, I'm sure people wouldn't be worried about hospital visits.
When I came to Children's A&E, Nicola stood out as a bubbly and enthusiastic individual. She never stopped comforting the children to make sure they were not scared of where they were or the treatments they were having. Alongside her work, she took on the Baby Loss Awareness Week project. She spent 2 days in the atrium breaking silence around losing a baby, arranging for a night service and a singer for the patients to come together and support each other. For anyone who attended, they will know that it was sensitively done and very moving. Nicola and her colleagues who organised this event even managed to light up the hospital in pink and blue, which are the trademark colours of the campaign.
The blood transfusion team liaises with both clinical staff and the blood transfusion service to supply blood components and products to wards, departments and external hospitals. The team actively reduce the amount of wastage by rotating stocks, monitoring blood allocated and ordering as required rather than bulk buying, reducing an annual wastage from £47,000 down to £23,000 in the last 4 years. When clinicians request products on a daily basis, they advise on national guidelines, avoiding wastage and unnecessary transfusions, while still making sure blood is available for patients, especially in an emergency situation. The team are constantly raising awareness of the need to utilise blood effectively. Only 4% of the population donate, and their work is vital to the running of the hospital.
The integrated discharge team 2 years ago felt co-located but not integrated. We have made huge developments and changes in their day-to-day structure and their practice and their leadership. They support one another, they work through challenges together, and they always work for the good of the patient. Wards come down with issues that they can't resolve, and we end up talking quite a lot of detail around some of the pathways that are available for patients. Are a true embodiment of what a team should be. They're not afraid to challenge and champion some of the most vulnerable individuals in the hospital.
Patrick is respectful of others and compassionate. He treats patients with care and dignity, offering them a smiley, happy face. Patrick goes the extra mile and takes time to complete the little things that matter. He's an excellent worker. Patrick is highly motivated and enthusiastic member of the team. Patrick is also organised and professional. He always takes pride in his appearance and is often referred to as the face of Braxted.
Broomfield Ward has had an incredible journey over the last few years following their transition from Gold Hanger Ward earlier this year. This ward faced significant challenges with large nursing vacancies, a complex patient group and an environment that didn't meet the needs of their patients. I'm sure the team can tell you how many times the floor has been patched up. Despite these challenges, staff have always remained positive and proactive in the care of our patients and have been the leading light on many service innovations. Special mention to Janet, their ward clerk, who embedded teletracking into the ward to become one of the best used in the trust. This demonstrates how effective leadership has come from all levels of staff, not just the senior team. Other innovations include the Wonder Ward project, which focused on staff values and culture, to more patient-focused improvements like the Swarm initiative to understand why patients fall in our hospital. This makes them the only ward to reduce the number of falls in 2018-19 and have achieved a sustained 4-month period with no pressure ulcers occurring on this ward. Walking onto Broomfield feels different now. It's a pleasure to visit, and this atmosphere has been commended by external visitors. The staff's enthusiasm, resilience and commitment to patient care is a true example of how staff-led improvements can benefit everyone.
The Mid-Essex Frailty team was set up in 2016 and has undergone many changes over that time. One of the more recent innovations is the ambulatory frailty service, which is now accessible for GPs to bring patients in on a day case basis to be reviewed within the team. The Frailty board round is exceptional. They deliver a true multi-professional team approach to these patients and work seamlessly across adult social care, community providers and closely with our CCG. The objective of every single member of that team is to keep patients who are frail and elderly in the organisation for as little time as necessary to get them back home so that they can live well in the environment they should be in for as long as possible.
Within the past year, microbiology have successfully managed to implement a rapid screening service for C. diff, MRSA, flu and norovirus. C. diff can now be tested 7 days a week. MRSA can be fast-tracked, reducing the wait time from 24 hours to 2, and as flu and norovirus are now tested in-house, wait time is significantly reduced by days. This development means that tests can be done quicker for ward staff, enabling timely decisions to be made for their patients, and has been instrumental in helping them journey through the hospital to get the treatment they need. This new service also saves the trust time and money. The team are excited for the future, looking to introduce quantiferon, a test that can detect latent TB, which will also reduce turnaround time and save further costs.
Patrick is not only kind, positive and professional, he's approachable, extremely hardworking and dedicated to his role. He is someone who can be relied on in any given situation, and he is always available for the team. He welcomes all newcomers with a smile, and while putting the well-being of his colleagues at the forefront of his day, he never forgets to allocate those all-important breaks. On the busiest of days, Patrick never shies away from getting stuck in. He's someone who never panics and is simply our calm amongst the storm. His presence will be missed when he moves on to develop his career.
Donna is such an inspirational and outstanding nurse who works constantly to develop the epilepsy service to achieve improved quality of care for her patients and families. She always welcomes her patients with sensitivity and a smile, supporting them throughout their journey. Whether it falls under her remit or not, she consistently goes above and beyond to help them. Her patients come away feeling assured and supported. Donna is also thought of highly by her colleagues, who often commend her knowledge and spirit. She's a fantastic team member who is always cheerful and willing to help.
Sue is an amazing nurse. As well as her day-to-day job, recruiting patients to clinical trials, she's the R&D's mental health first aider. She has created and hosts weekly relaxation sessions and reflective workshops, and sends daily mindful messages for the welfare and benefit of all the team. Sue is a true representation of our trust values. She is a kind, caring and supportive professional that works tirelessly every day to promote mental health and well-being. She's there for us to talk to if things aren't going to plan, either at home or at work, which helps us to feel positive and valued. She's a great motivator and mentor, and is always there for her patients and colleagues, going above and beyond her normal duties.
Since volunteering, Kira's personality has become a lot more outgoing, a lot more chatty within the office. She enters into the office banter, which is brilliant, and she makes us all laugh so much. Really brilliant, Kira. Mary Hirst is a volunteer on Turling Ward. She comes in twice a week. She's a retired nurse. She's also a full-time carer for her husband. Mary still manages to come in without fail every week. She's really reliable, which is really valued by the team. She helps patients with personal care, with feeding, with chatting, just making sure they're really happy on the ward. Mary is so reliable, she also chooses to come in on Christmas Day, which is absolutely fantastic. She is a really valued member of the volunteer team. Melvin has volunteered at the Trust for many years and has been one of the most reliable, kindest, caring and friendly volunteers we've ever had. He always goes out of his way to help others, even if it's not in his role description. He is always immaculately dressed with a constant smile on his face, which makes meeting and greeting patients and visitors in the outpatient department the perfect role for him.